Hello, friends, neighbors, clients, etc. It's Brad Vincent with Realty Right Texas. September 2015. I'm getting this video in a little late in my monthly video series for reasons I will explain later. I am coming to you from a secret, undisclosed location. Not really. I'm in my wife's craft room. There's nothing secret or cool about that. But I'm not in my office like you would usually see me in for those who have been following this video series. I don't get in the office very often anymore, and my colleagues play pranks on me, and they make noises in the background, which makes it hard to film. So, in the spirit of making the most efficient and professional video possible, I'm coming at you from home. I am on an old laptop webcam, which is not very high tech, but I can get in a spaceship. Not really. That's a really cheesy graphic. But in honor of them finding water on Mars, maybe I should invest in a spaceship so that I can sell real estate there, since we will all be living there very soon. That was a shout out to you, David Rich, since I know how much you love space exploration and Mars. But in all seriousness, the title of this month's video is Winter is Coming. And for those of you that are Game of Thrones fans, you have heard that phrase. They use it in reference to the long season of winter and the White Walkers coming to kill them in their sleep. And nothing crazy like that. And I'm not even really referring to the actual season of winter, which we don't have in Houston. But I am referring to what I will call the real estate winter, which is essentially when summer ends and school starts back. The reason I call it that is because the real estate market slows down very noticeably in that time frame. For all of those who know me and who have done business with me over the past 8 years, you know that if you're going to list your house, I will tell you do it in the summer. The summer is the hottest time to sell your house. It's when the most buyers are on the market, and that's when it's the most competitive. You're very likely to get the best offer you can get on your house because of that exact reason. There's more buyers on the market. The buyers who do see your house know that other people are coming in behind them, and you're more likely to get a more competitive offer. If I list your house in September as compared to the summer, I would be getting much lower number of showings, as where it would be 10, 15, 20 showings a week in the summer. Now you're down to 2, 3, maybe 5 if you're lucky in the real estate winter. September and October both are pretty slow months. If you do have to sell, you still can. I mean, I have plenty of clients who do. I usually sell 2, 3, maybe 4 houses in that time of the year each year out of the 30 to 40 I sell every year. So, you can sell them, but it's different, and that's why I want to talk about it. It's very important that you have a realtor who knows what they're doing in this time of year and that is keeping in constant contact with you. Most of my sellers get really crazy and really paranoid when a week or 2 or 3 goes by and their house isn't sold yet, and that is completely reasonable and understandable. That's why it is my job to stay in touch with them, let them know what's going on, let them know how we're marketing it. It's important that your realtor is staying in touch with the other agents who are showing your house because you have a limited number of buyers out there and a limited number of opportunities. Buyers also catch wind of the way things feel in this market, and you're more likely to get a lower offer in this time of year because they know no one's going to come in from behind them and offer behind them, so they're more likely to give you a lower offer. So it's not the ideal time to sell, but people do it sometimes. You might have gotten a job that's relocating you right away. Maybe you already bought a house and you got to sell now, or maybe you built a house 9 months ago and the builder told you it was going to be 3, but now it's been 9. So it does happen, and you still can sell, but now is more important than ever to make sure you've got a real estate professional that you trust and they're on top of things. So much goes on behind the scenes that you don't know about. And really, you should not have to worry about the real estate side of things once you've hired a good realtor. You should be able to go to work, take care of your kids, and do the things you normally do and not have to sweat it. And your realtor should be reaching out to you to let you know where things are going. But this time of year, it does take a month or longer to sell a house. So you need to know that. I was just looking at a listing yesterday. I have a buyer, and we went to go look at a house, and I went to check the listing out online before we looked at it, as I do all the time. And I noticed this listing was really messed up. The physical description of the property only had like 1 sentence. They didn't list any financing options. They had messed up the tax info. The financing options are a searchable feature. So if someone goes to search for that house and they're searching by financing options, they will not see that house. So that house is not being seen by a whole group of people. That is huge in this market. In the summer, you can probably get away with that because buyers are more actively searching. But this time of year, you might miss out on a few people, and those few people may make the difference. So knowing you've got a good agent is very important, and knowing that they're on top of things is very important. And you're going to wonder. You're going to wonder what is going on. You know, the more time that goes by, the more time you have to worry about those things. So it's important your agent discusses that with you ahead of time, and that you pick the right one. Another big thing I want to talk about, which also goes along the lines of selecting the right realtor, it's a common theme in everything I discuss in real estate, is there's a new law that is going into place that is being put in by the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It is going to kick in on October the 3rd. This thing has been set to roll out a couple of times and keeps getting delayed because of how complicated it is. I would compare it to the Affordable Care Act, which is also known as Obamacare, not in the fact that it has anything to do with healthcare, but because of the complexity of it, people don't understand it and how it got delayed. And once it finally was implemented, it made a lot of changes. That is how this is going to be. It's going to be much more short term. I think in the first few months is where we'll see problems, but after that it'll get ironed out. We have seen big changes like this. We had the SAFE Act a few years back. We had a big HUD change in 2010. It's now more important than ever to have a realtor who knows what they're doing, who's up to date on these laws, and who knows how these changes are going to affect you, because it's going to affect everyone. And if you're listing a house right now and your realtor has not discussed this with you, giant red flag. If you're a buyer and your realtor has not discussed this with you, massive red flag, because it affects buyers even more so. So it's important now to have good, solid real estate professionals who are successful, who are on top of this, and who know what they're doing. Don't just hire your cousin Billy who just got his license, or don't go to the title company way out in the sticks because your brother knows somebody there. Pick real estate professionals that know what they're doing. I'm not just talking about realtors. I say real estate professionals. It's your realtors, your lenders, and your title companies. For those who have worked with me, you know I bring with me real estate professionals who I've been doing this with for years. I have a great lender I work with, a great title company. I have multiple lenders and title companies. People I trust, people I've worked with, people that I've really been through it with. So it's important. The biggest fear I have in this is the things I cannot control. So for example, if I'm listing your home right now, with this change that's coming in October 3rd, my concern is the buyer's agent who's going to bring me an offer for your home. That buyer's agent has got to be sharp and has got to take care of this in order for there not to be problems. If he's not doing it, and I'm having to do his job for him, he may make an error, or his lender may make an error, or the title company might make an error that's either going to delay your closing, or it might blow the deal altogether. And what that means is you're going to have to go back on the market. So a month into this, you may have to go back on the market. You may lose the house you're purchasing because of this. It's a big deal. It is going to cause massive, massive problems if you're working with someone who's not on top of things. Again, after a couple months, I think it'll be ironed out. But these types of changes, it's always really sticky in the beginning because not everybody knows what's going on, and there's a lot of scenarios that have not been thought through by the people who wrote these changes. So there's a lot of rolling with the punches. Very important you select a good realtor. Another thing I'd like to point out is don't select a realtor or real estate professional based on brand name alone. You know, you hear someone who's got a big brand name like Remax, Gary Green. None of that matters. You're picking the realtor. When you select me, you're selecting Brad Vincent. That's the brand. That is the person who's going to take care of you. Remax is not going to take care of you, or my company, Realtor Right's not going to take care of you. I am going to take care of you. That realtor you hire is going to take care of you. There's plenty of good realtors out there. You're not always going to pick me. I know plenty of people that are not going to pick me. Everybody knows a realtor. Everybody knows 5 realtors. Just pick a good one. Drives me insane when I see somebody I know working with a lousy realtor. There's so many of them. Not that many people in this business are really good at it. And it's a hobby business. So you'll get people who have been doing this for 10, 12 years but sell like a house a year. They don't know what they're doing. Another thing to pay attention to is select a realtor who's in your market. If you're in Katy, Texas, or you're in Cypress, Texas, do not select a realtor in Conroe, Woodlands area. It's a totally different market. I get people who come to me from Clear Lake and Pearland all the time who want me to list their homes, and I turn them away because I cannot provide you an accurate service. Sure, I could take the listing. I could slap it up on the MLS at some random price, but I don't know that market. I'm not doing them a good service, so I will not take it. I refer them out to somebody. Find somebody who's in your market. If you're in the suburbs, don't pick a realtor who specializes in midtown condos. Totally different market, okay? I work in Fairfield, Cypress, Katy, Spring, in very specific areas that I'm in and day out, and that's how I know the market. I just walked out of that neighborhood. I just walked out of Town Lake, just walked out of Cinco Ranch, just walked out of Raintree Village. Those areas are my areas that I work in specifically every single day. Too many neighborhoods to list, obviously. So if I didn't hit yours, don't leave me out. It's very important. Pick the right realtor. Make sure you know that they know what they're doing. Ask a friend to refer you to somebody. 90% of my business is off of referrals. I make it my goal to make my clients happy, so they refer me to people. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's very important. Another thing I would have you think about is think far ahead to what your goal is when it comes to real estate. If you're going to buy in the next year, contact me now. Let's talk about your plan for the next year. People think when they contact me they've got to start working right away. That's not the case. I talk to people for months before we do anything sometimes. But then again, I get people who call me a week before they need to buy. So be very careful. I have a great couple that I'm working with right now that contacted me probably 2 months before they needed to list their house. That was very smart. They had all the right questions. They were ready to go. And we keyed on some things they didn't know and talked about well ahead of time. And we're going to list their house on November 1st. November and December are a good time to list your house. It's very similar to the summer, just shorter term for the same reasons. People want to get in before the end of the year. So that is actually a solid time. If you miss out on that window, you've got January, February, March, which is very similar to September and October. So if you know you're going to be looking to buy or sell soon, even like I said, even within like a year or 6 months, think about it ahead of time. Don't just wait till the last minute. Although I know it does happen. You get a job offer, maybe you get a bonus or something, and that changes things. I'm not saying you can't do it that way. I'm just saying if you have the opportunity, look far ahead. Another thing is if you know for sure you want to sell your home in the next year or so, I would have you strongly consider having that home listed this November. The reason being for that is the market is really volatile right now and things can change. We've got an election year coming up, and election years are very unpredictable. We got low oil prices right now. Interest rates are staying where they're at, so that's a good sign that the market's going to be steady. But there are markets right now, for example, I'll use North Katy, where prices are flying really, really high, and I'm selling houses for prices I never would have imagined. That can't last forever in one of those fringe markets like that. Some of those areas are selling better than they should be. So if you live in North Katy, I'm selling houses in North Glen, High Creek Village, Raintree Village, Settlers Village, just anywhere on that north side of Katy. 77449 zip code, 084 450, those areas, they're flying high right now. And you can sell a house that a few years ago you'd sell for $110,000 for like 160, 170. And it may drop back down to those prices, if we have a little hiccup in the market. So just be aware of that. If you do think you may want to sell the next year, you might want to consider getting it up in the hot time now. It's not for everybody. You may live in a subdivision that does not show those qualities, and it may be great to sell in a year, 2 years. But I would say contact me at least. Think about it. The thing is, once you've missed the boat, there's no going back. Back when we had the great buyer's market 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was telling people, now's the time to buy. You can get a steal of a deal. And I had people tell me, I want to wait, I want to wait, I want to wait. And then, one day you woke up and that house that you could buy for 110 was 160, 170. That house you could get for 200 is 250. And once you've seen that, it's dramatic. So prices are good right now. Maybe they're not at the exact peak, but they're high. You can sell your house quickly. So just be aware, because if you miss the boat, you're going to be kicking yourself. So be aware of that. Last thing I wanted to talk to you about is the reason you're now seeing this video on YouTube or Facebook is I can't post these to my website anymore. I've got a dispute going with my web developer that I won't get too much into. I don't want to drag their name through the dirt. They are fixing it, or at least working towards it. But I've lost all my data on my website. I've lost all my videos. So I've got 6 years worth of videos that you may have been following that are now gone right now. You can't access my website right now. So now I'm posting everything to Facebook and YouTube. So if you're seeing this on Facebook and you like it, please click like. Feel free to share it with someone. I do these videos obviously to generate business and discuss real estate with people, so more people that see it, the better. Feel free, if you have any questions or comments, to put them in the comments below, or maybe message me through Facebook. I don't check that quite as often as my email. Best way to contact me is my email or my cell phone, brad@realtyright.com, or my cell phone, 281-770-1099. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope I gave you some good info and maybe provoked some good thoughts. It's good to get these out there, and thanks for watching.